Do you intentionally not follow through on reaching your goals because of thoughts that are like, I don't really think that I'm good enough at what I do and to be taken seriously? And if I put myself out there, I don't want to look foolish because others might expose that I don't really know what I'm doing. So I better hold off a little bit longer and learn a little bit more, and then I'll put myself out there. Well, unfortunately, you can go for years with those thoughts and still not put yourself out there because learning more is not the answer to making those thoughts go away. You see, that's the quiet, creeping voice of what's called imposter syndrome. And if you felt it, you're not alone. 70% of high achievers feel it. But this segment, what I want to do is dive into the question of, can imposter syndrome be cured? Now, I'm using the word cured. It's actually not a medical condition, so that's good news. It's really more about overcoming and learning to own your value. But if you're an entrepreneur, a creator, an athlete, an artist, a business leader, or whatever, and you struggle with imposter syndrome, even though those thoughts might not be real, it does have a real effect on your performance. So, whatever you do or whoever you are, if that requires that you perform at a really high level, then I'm about to give you the mindset shift that you need that will help you overcome it. Let's get to it. Okay, so imposter syndrome is not really something that can be diagnosed, but it is a real experience, and it does have devastating effects on those that are in its grip because it keeps them stuck for years and years. Because it's this feeling of being a fraud, thinking that your success might have come from luck or timing rather than skills or smarts. And then that makes you feel like you can't duplicate it. And it tends to show up most when people are trying to improve who they are or improve what they do, or maybe even step into some sort of new space. And studies show that like up to 70% of high achievers feel it at some point. So it's very real, and entrepreneurs and creators are especially prone because we are often inventing something new or trying to go somewhere that nobody else has gone before. So there's no map on how to get there, and it makes us feel unsure of ourselves. So the big question is, can it be cured? The answer is no, not like a cold, but the good news is you can absolutely learn to overcome it or manage it. And leadership expert Simon Sinek, he says that when you know your why, when you discover it, that sense of internal purpose will end up dissolving self-doubt. So while imposter syndrome may not ever vanish entirely, it can lose its power over you. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this today is not just because so many entrepreneurs and creators struggle with this, but because I actually live with it as well. Years ago, I started a business in my mid-20s, and I grew this carpet cleaning company into a high-end textile service company. I became the go-to guy for designers and architects and homeowners who needed someone to clean and protect and deal with difficult situations in these high-end textiles. And I didn't just start a business. I did, but I eventually built it to be a company that provided jobs, a 401k, health benefits, among other things. But I didn't just start there. It took time, right? When I was starting that, if I would have looked at who I was and when I ended up selling my company, I probably would have been intimidated, thinking there's no way I could ever do that. So part of that plays into imposter syndrome, where we look at people who have been at it for 20, 30 years, and we think we should be them. So that hurts us as well. But eventually, a few years ago, I sold that company, and now I'm building something new where I help other local small business owners design their companies so that they can grow and be profitable and have more freedom and one day sell them. Now, what I didn't see coming when I started this is what I'm talking about today. Imposter syndrome hit me hard. I wasn't expecting it. I had all this knowledge. I had all this real experience. I had a track record. In fact, over the years of owning that business, I developed relationships with other business owners, and I helped them tweak their marketing, rethink their operations, improve their profits. But it was all just informal conversations and just from having friendships. No one ever paid me for that. So this thought started to grow of, why would anybody pay me to help them? Just because I've done it for myself doesn't mean, one, that I could do it for others, and two, that they would be willing to pay me. So that thought kept growing. But instead of giving into it, I just kept showing up. I just kept putting myself out there where I could offer help and I could be in situations to help other people figure out how to grow their companies and how to make them more sellable. And eventually this shift came. And it came when I got my first paying client. The crazy thing is, I didn't even deliver results yet, but something changed inside me when I got paid to do what I do. I wasn't trying to become an exit coach or a small business coach anymore. I actually was one at that point. And that's why I say that more learning, more preparing, it's never going to make those feelings go away. It's putting yourself out there, doing what you believe you can do, and having success that makes those feelings go away. That's the fastest path to overcoming imposter syndrome. Now, I'm going to give you some practices that can help with a mindset shift till you get that first client. One, name it. That voice in your head, just label it. It's imposter syndrome. By labeling it, it creates this distance and it weakens it. Two, reframe it. Feeling like a fraud doesn't mean that you are one. I mean, if you care about offering value and you're working hard to bring that value to others, you're not a fraud. Three, keep score. Create a win file. So anytime that you have a positive impact on others, keep a track record of it. Refer back to it, because that evidence will quiet those doubts. And then four, always be taking action, right? Confidence comes after you do the work, not before. In the beginning, your work is not going to be your best work, right? It is that, but it's that way for everybody. And you can only improve something that you're actually practicing. Number five, you may not feel ready, but get your first client. If you're struggling to feel legitimate, when someone invests in your help, that single moment will shift your mindset more than anything else. Now, if you need a quick fix before your next meeting or sales call, I'm going to give you a few. Number one, stand tall, smile, and breathe. The posture of your body will send signals to your brain. Add the word yet. Instead of saying I'm not ready, say I'm not ready yet. Number three, visualize success, right? We all make up in our mind these worst case scenarios. Well, instead, make up in your mind the best case scenario. And the last one, it might sound a little weird, phone a friend. Just call someone that you know they love you and they got your back, and just say, hey, I've got to go in, I've got to give this presentation, or I'm going to be talking to someone that I hope becomes a client today, and I'm struggling with a lot of self-doubt. I need a 60-second pep talk. Anybody that knows you and loves you is going to do that for you, and it's going to flip your entire mindset. All right, imposter syndrome might not disappear forever, but it doesn't have to run the show. In fact, you can actually manage it so that it makes you better than your competition. Just click on the link to my other videos so that you can learn how to do that. So listen, you're building something. You're helping people. You're working hard. You know what you're doing. So you are not a fraud. You're a professional that is always improving. Your experience has value. Your insights are powerful. And if you show up consistently, even with a little bit of doubt in the back of your mind, you're going to outgrow the imposter syndrome and you're going to become the expert that you know you already are. Now, if any of this has resonated with you, please drop a yes in the comments. I would love to know that. And if you would like to talk some more about this, type talk in the comments. What I'll do at that point is I'm going to respond and give you a link to my calendar so that you and I can talk about it. All right. Thanks for joining me and for being a part of this conversation. Let's keep journeying together.